Bantu people were on the move into Central Africa in 1000 BC, no doubt meeting up with the Pygmies, a problematic name. The folks prefer to be referred to by their specific tribes, in this case the Ba'aka, here in a remarkable music that could be extremely old, but could have been composed in the 1980s when this was recorded. The Ba'aka have a strong sense of composition, but they also have a strong sense of tradition, and you could hear a wonderful yodeling alternating between chest voice and head voice. We're in a 4/4 cycle, kind of a blues. So te do. Pentatonic. Everyone participating. Clapping. This is a piece honoring the hunt, the net hunt. And the music could go on for 15 or more minutes before changing songs, with constant polyphonic, hocketing variations, people jumping in and out of the texture. Quite wonderful. All this in the southwest corner of the Central African Republic, a spectacular country which is in danger of environmental and political destruction in the early 20th century and in more recent times. Desertification is approaching from the Sahara, and despite the spectacular fauna and flora, a civil war recently, over the last decade or so. But hopefully the music and the spirit will continue.
Princes of Troy, on our last night together, Queen Helen and I salute you. We've had our conflicts before, it's true. We fought many battles, Sparta and Troy, and fought well. And I have always respected your father. Priam is a good king, a good man. I respected him as an adversary. I respect him now as my ally. Back to Paris, young princes. Come, stand. Drink with me. Let us drink to peace.
To peace. Between Troy and Sparta.
May the gods keep the wolves in the hills and the women in our beds.
If Homer existed, he may have lived in around the 700s BC. The purported author of the Iliad and the Odyssey, here dramatized in the recent movie Troy, with real fake Greek music by James Horner. Pretty wonderful in its microtones, its oboes, the aulos, double oboes, and very rhythmic drums. There's trouble ahead, no question. Watch out, Orlando Bloom.
You shouldn't be here.
That's what you said last night.
Last night was a mistake.
And the night before?
I've made many mistakes this week.
The 500s BC were a golden age in Greece and also India with the birth of the Buddha, who gave up a life of privilege led a simple monk's life, became an ascetic, eventually sat under the bodhi tree and achieved enlightenment. The cessation of desire would result in the cessation of suffering. And from this point he set out with one follower and many, and changed the course of history, musical and otherwise. A religion that sprang out of Hinduism, in a sense as Christianity sprang out of Judaism. And who knows where both will go. China was also in a marvelous period with the birth of Confucius. And Confucius's ideas are as much civic as they are religious, more moral principles. And amongst his notions, identifying the 8 trigrams with 8 instrumental types. Among those types, silk string instruments, as the guzheng you just heard, and now the pipa, and of course pentatonic languages. Here's the moon guitar as well. Nice glissandi coming down, great figuration. Monophonic playing of these solo instruments, and now briefly the erhu, much better than my performance. Bowed string in accompaniment here, and a box of strings, and now a dizzy flute, which has a membrane across the air hole. Here's the sona oboe. Now we're in wind instruments, of course, and wooden instruments, the tiger box, a wonderful idiophone, and the stone chimes, an example of which was buried with a musician at the beginning of the Qin dynasty. They got knocked about, as are these cymbals, augmented with gongs. And here from metal we have clay, and now a gourd, respectively the ocarina and the sheng. Here's a scale for the sheng, rather complex, and drums to round out the percussion by the Great Wall, to have a vibrant ensemble overall, which we shall look forward to. Pentatonic as well as this music from Angola in South Africa. By the 300s BC, Bantu peoples had migrated south into present-day Angola. And here we're hearing pentatonic, veritable frenzy of energy with multiple thumb pianos set against a wonderfully energetic singer, and a cacophony organized, building up in basically 2 chords. Do, do, te, do. It's called the Lament of the Deer's Mother, but sounds downright celebratory, does it not? Cascading pitches downward. And there's at least a solo thumb piano player for you. And as with our Central African music, one has a feeling of a communal spirit, where this music is a synthesis of all the participants. This has to be one of the most vaguely named pieces of the semester. I found this in an old music appreciation textbook simply called Song from Angola. And we do have wonderful call and response, the use of log drums and membranophones. And notice that call and response is basically in parallel thirds. And the main leading singer will himself state the music at several pitch levels. The more intense at the higher level. Here he goes again. Can't go wrong with parallel harmony. And again, this is traditional. How far does it go back? We really have no idea. It could be as fresh as the years recorded, or it could be very old indeed. Old indeed as well could be the music of South India. The Indian subcontinent is kind of cut off from the rest of Asia and is one of the four cradles of civilization with the Indus River Valley. And here we're hearing the Vena lute and eventually the Venu flute. The first accompanied now energetically by the Mridangam, double-headed drum. We hear a drone in the background by the tambura. Often a shruti box is used, or even a harmonium, to provide drones. And we'll be hearing more of North Indian music soon. The South is probably pure, less influenced by other interlopers into the Indian subcontinent.